For both the Lima Express and the St. Louis For both the St. Louis RiverSharks and the Lima Express, lots of changes, but lots of things stay the same. For the Home Express, it's a new league in 2016, having come over from the Premier Basketball League. And for the St. Louis RiverSharks, runners-up in the MPBA last year, they've got a whole slew of new faces and a new coach to start the 2016 season. Good afternoon from Lima, Ohio at Lima Central Catholic High School. Alongside Nate Garlock, I'm Craig Feta, bringing you this MPBA opener for both of these teams in the 2016 season between the Lima Express and the St. Louis RiverSharks. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the nation or around the world. And Nate, it's going to be an interesting game because the St. Louis RiverSharks return a lot of faces from last year, but there's a little bit of upheaval as the head coach that they had last year, Al Grushkin, has moved on to another job. He just informed the team within the last week, and it's an unfortunate series of events timing-wise, but the MPBA doesn't want to hold anybody back from achieving higher levels, so Coach Grushkin has moved on, and taking his place today will be Ray Farrell. Now, Ray Farrell is an 8-year coach at Missouri Baptist, and he's going to have a lot of experienced players to work with who were in the MPBA last year. The RiverSharks returned Kenny McGowan, Brandon Hogg, Terry Leak, and Keith DeWitt, and they added the 2015 most valuable player from the Bloomington Flex, Justin Bocott. For Lima Express, they're led by Mark Anderson, and he brings back a number of players as well from past teams. Nate, it's going to be an interesting game here today.
Yeah, it should be very exciting. You know, the opening season or opening game of the season for both teams. You know, it's a time for both teams to try to figure out what they have. For the RiverSharks, they're going to have to try to figure out how to play together. A lot of new faces, new coach, only had about a week to gel. For the Express, a lot of players have been around for quite a while, but it is a new season. It's a chance for everybody to kind of start seeing what they have and how the season's going to work out for them.
It's Midwest Professional Basketball Association Hoops on MPBA.TV. We will be back with further analysis and breakdowns of this upcoming game. We'll talk a little bit about last night's result in Champaign. There's also one other game going on in the MPBA today as the Pontiac 66ers make their franchise debut as they host the Gateway Steam. This is the MPBA on MPBA.TV.
It's none of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
Welcome back to Lima Central Catholic High School. It's the MPBA debut for the Lima Express, who played in the Premier Basketball League since their inception in 2014. We'll be eager to see what they can bring to the table. I know it's a great organization, having been involved with the PBL in the past. The Lima Express, led by owner and general manager Louis Shine and head coach Mark Anderson. They've done some tremendous things here in Lima, and based on what we see in the stands already, I think we're going to have a pretty good crowd here, Nate, on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, unfortunately we had some bad weather creep in on us, but it didn't look like to keep the crowds away. People want to come out. They want to support the Express. They're out here to see some good basketball.
You don't have to tell me about the bad weather. I had to drive through some of it last night through Champaign, and then on my way to Indianapolis, and then from Indy here this morning. It was pretty hairy in a couple of spots, but nonetheless, basketball will go on. As we look at the two teams taking part in today's game for the home Lima Express, Mark Anderson brings back a few players that he's had on his team in the past, and he added one key component from another team that we saw. As we look at Lima's roster, they're going to have Johnny Elliott back for a second season. Last year for the Express, he played 6 games, averaged 9.2 points. Cody Ballard, he's back as well, played 13 games for Lima, averaged 23.7 points per game, along with 4.2 assists and 7.5 rebounds. David Atkinson comes from Salem International University, where he played 37 games, averaged 8.2 points per game. Kyle Meyer is back as well for the Express, and he's been a key component for Mark Anderson's teams over the past 2 years. 6'6" from Ohio Northern, averaging 20.1 points per game. And it's got to be a nice comfort when you can go back to some of these guys that you've relied on in the past, especially guys like Cody Ballard and Kyle Meyer.
Yeah, it's going to be something that's going to be real big for Mark Anderson, especially early on. He can count on him to kind of run the floor for him. You know, he's the leading scorer coming back, almost 20 a game. He has a good presence about him. A lot of people from around here know some of these players too. They're from here, they live here, they all know the area. So it helps when you have the local talent who's able to be step up in their competition level, be able to continue to play at this high level as well.
For the St. Louis RiverSharks, they're going to have a lot of continuity on the floor. They bring back sharpshooter Kenny McGowan, who averaged 10 points a game last year. They also return Brandon Hogg. He played 11 games for the RiverSharks before being shipped off to Albania. They actually saw Brandon Hogg, the Albanian scouts. They saw him on the MPBA live stream and decided they wanted to bring him over. Also returning for the RiverSharks, Terry Leak, a 6'6" swingman from Delta State. He averaged 15.4 points per game, and this guy is an athlete. He can absolutely jump out of the gym. He's fun to watch. Also returning, Keith DeWitt, runner-up for MVP in the MPBA last year, 18.1 points per game, 2 blocks per game, and he was the league's leading rebounder. So Keith DeWitt is going to be a force to be reckoned with for this Lima defense. And the St. Louis RiverSharks have brought in the reigning MPBA MVP, Justin Bocott, 6'4" out of Southern Illinois. He averaged 26.1 games for the Bloomington Flex last year. So new coach Ray Farrell, while there's going to be some turnover in the coaching ranks there, he's going to have a lot of weapons at his disposal.
Yeah, when you look up and down their roster, you know, it has a nice mix of people who have been around, they've been successful, yet some new talent, so they can help bring some of those guys along. But there are a lot of athletes. Just watching them in warm-ups, these guys, they're big, they're strong, they're very athletic. They look like they're going to be able to get to the rim, going to be a force to be reckoned with on the board. This should be a very, very entertaining game.
When we come back, as we step aside for the national anthem, when we come back, we will take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams and have some final thoughts as well. This is MPBA basketball from Lima, Ohio. It's the MPBA debut for the Lima Express. This is the MPBA.TV.
This is Emma Kyler. Check.
Welcome back to Lima Central Catholic High School. Little administrative work here as we get the timing of the timeouts settled with crew chief Jerry Middleton. Our officials today, by the way, Jerry Middleton, Phil Uhas, and Jimmy Hughes. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for these two teams. First for the visiting St. Louis RiverSharks, they are coached by Ray Farrell, coached at Missouri Baptist University, and he was actually assisting Al Grushkin in this training camp, so the players are not unfamiliar with Ray Farrell. But starting for the RiverSharks, at point guard, number 20, Brandon Hogg, 6'1", 190, out of Southern Indiana. Also at guard, number 15, the reigning MVP in the MPBA, Justin Bocott. At forward,
Number 42, J.T. Sultan.
Terry Leak, 6'6", 215, out of Delta State. Also at forward,
Terry Leak.
6'7", 235 from Middle Tennessee State, J.T. Sutton. And the big man is Keith DeWitt, 6'10", 235 out of Southern Indiana. Great moves on the offensive end, a terrific rebounder, and a great defender as well. For the Lima Express, at guard, they will have Johnny Elliott, 6 feet, 165 out of the University of Northwestern Ohio. Also at guard, 6'4", 200 from South Carolina Aiken, Cody Ballard. Also at guard, Devon Taylor Bunton, number 25, 6'5", 180 out of Clinton College. And the forwards, 6'6", 215 from Ohio Northern, Kyle Meyer. And 6'8", David Atkinson out of Salem International University. And that's the starting lineup for the Lima Express. Moments away from tip-off. The RiverSharks clad in royal blue, new road uniforms this year, looking pretty sweet. And the Lima Express in their new home uniforms as well. They are just about set to tip off in Pontiac as well between the Steam and 66ers. We will let you know about that game as it goes on. Pretty good crowd here in Lima. A lot of the fans sitting down below our level of the camera, so can't really see most of the fans in Pontiac. They've got a great crowd there. They are underway in Pontiac. You can watch all the games all season long. Every league game is televised on mpba.tv. You can watch live, free, and in HD. And we are just about set for tip-off here. Jerry Middleton, he's going to throw it up between Keith DeWitt and David Atkinson. Ball's in the air. DeWitt wins the tip, and we are underway. Just about won it too well.
Almost a turnover right off the bat. Got a little excited there.
And an issue with the shot clock. May have been the volume of the music. It was pretty loud as St. Louis was getting into their offensive set.
Going to be important right off the start here to see it. The Express are going to need to come out, play a good, strong defense. Going to have to get off to a good start. You know, the RiverSharks got a lot of talent, a lot of athletic ability on there. They're going to need to make sure that they don't let them get too big of a lead too early, stay with them, and be able to play strong.
3-4 attempts for the RiverSharks. Justin Bocott finally ends up with it. He gets fouled on his way to the bucket, and so Bocott will go to the free throw line. Did not see who the foul was on. We did not hear an announcement. And
it's a little hard to tell there. Obviously, going up for a second, third, fourth chance there. A little crowd was gathering. A little bit of a scrum there at the end.
Bocott gets the first point of the game. Meyer giving it up to Bunton. Now the drive. Layup is good. That's Cody Ballard, and he gives the Lima Express a 2-1 lead.
It's a great take by Ballard. He saw an opening there, took it nice and strong, didn't hesitate, was able to get to the bucket.
Yeah, they reset the...
Looks like they're still having some trouble with the shot clock there, trying to get the correct time up.
Now Bocott on the block, working on Ballard, has to give it up. Hogg has it now, left wing. Around the screen by DeWitt. Well defended by the Express. And Bocott does not get it off, and it's a shot clock violation against St. Louis.
It's a great defense by the Express that time. They looked like they had a little bit of confusion on a couple of switches, but they still managed to play nice and tight and didn't give him an easy look and ended up with a turnover. Little sloppy pass right there, almost led to the turnover. Fortunately, got his hand a little bit too far in on him, and Bocott there with the foul. Little push-off foul there. Wasn't quite sure who it was on, but looks like they got a little bit too excited, pushed off, trying to get open try to see if they couldn't get a basket. Turnover on the Express. St. Louis going the other way.
10:25 to play, first quarter. Express up 2-1. DeWitt has it up high, throws it down low, was trying to hit Terry Leak, and the ball goes out of bounds, and that's going to be Express ball.
It's a good idea. It was a good look. He had position on him. Just got to put a little bit too much on the pass there. He couldn't quite handle it.
Ballard into the front court, right side to Taylor Bunton. Nice jump hook. That's Kyle Meyer. And it's 4-1.
Nice move by Kyle underneath there. We talked about him at the opening. They're really going to rely on him and Ballard here early on, try to set the tone for him. He's able to get a nice bucket there close to the rim. Sloppy pass led to that turnover, but then he got caught not too confident in his pass and gave it right back.
Bocott, the behind-the-back dribble, gives it up to J.T. Sutton, and he goes up and flushes it. And the RiverSharks to within one at 4-3. Layup attempt no good. Rebound DeWitt.
Meyer got a little bit too underneath that time, got caught kind of in no man's land, and he tried to make something out of nothing but couldn't quite get it.
Bocott, the fadeaway from the right elbow won't go. Meyer with the second effort, can't get it to go. Rebound Sutton.
Been a little surprised early on now with as easy as Express has had trying to get in. You know, DeWitt's a big man, and I'm surprised he's not taking up a little bit more space in there, trying to deny some of those entry passes.
Ballard on the right wing. Tries to get past Bocott and a foul away from the ball. No, it's a defensive 3-second call against Keith DeWitt. He was trapped in no man's land. His mark got away from him, and that'll result in a technical foul. against the team. That is not against DeWitt.
Early on, I think you're seeing a little bit of, what most teams are going to have, especially when you're opening the season, your first game, a little sluggish, a little sloppy with some of the play. As the game goes on, I expect to see a lot of that cleaned up, not so many of the turnovers, not so much of the sillies as the 3 seconds, those types of things.
Ballard to inbound. Gets it back from Taylor. Bunton launches the 3, and that's good.
Great look. He didn't hesitate at all. They gave him enough space. He pulled up, and he drained it.
Now Hogg on the drive, loses the dribble. And here come the Express back the other way. Into the corner, 3 ball on the way. That's no good by Johnny Elliott. Rebound Meyer. Elliott gets it back, and the shot's blocked, but a foul called.
That whole offensive set was really nice. The Express got the ball moving around, found him over in the corner there. He couldn't finish, but they didn't give up on it. He was moving without the ball, moving towards the basket. Meyer found him cutting in. Couldn't quite finish, but now he's at the free throw line looking for an easy couple.
Free throw is up and in for Elliott. Elliott hits them both. And it's the biggest lead of the game for Lima at 8-3. Leak on the drive. Defended nicely by Devon Taylor Bunton. Settles for the pull-up fadeaway, and it's no good. And here comes Lima back the other way. Skip pass inside to Meyer. He goes strong off the glass and banks it in over Terry Leak. And it's 11-3.
Great look that time by the Express, running the floor. Found the open man cutting, and now timeout, trying to get regrouped a little bit here.
Ray Farrell taking timeout. We'll take it as well. Well, they're going to make it a 20, so we'll keep it here. But so far for the Lima Express, they say, wow, you guys played in the MPBA Finals last year, and we're not impressed. They jump out to an early 11-3 lead.
They've come out. It was important they get off to a quick start like this. They're coming out. They're finding the opening guy. So far for the RiverSharks, it looks like they're having a little bit of hard time finding themselves when they're in them half-court sets, getting that offense moving, not a lot of ball movement. They're settling for some tough shots. The last possession before the timeout, they came down, only had the ball maybe 2-3 seconds before he took a tough contested shot. They got to get that ball moving a little bit, rotate it around, get the defense spread out, see if they can't get DeWitt going on the inside.
Hogg outside to Leak. Couldn't quite corral the pass, and Sutton ended up missing the shot. Pass ahead deflected by Sutton, and it'll stay with Lima with 20 on the shot clock. Ballard to inbound along the baseline. Ballard gets it to Meyer, back to Ballard. Ballard. Bounce pass inside. Beautiful dish from Ballard to Meyer. Boy, did he thread the needle with that one.
It was a great look. They played a lot of basketball together. Ballard knew where Meyer was going, where he was going to be, and he fed him, made an easy 2 points there.
Lob inside to Leak. Pass a little bit too far. And that's going to be another turnover.
A lot of sloppy play early on now for St. Louis. They're going to have to tighten this up. I know it's the first game of the season. They had travel. They just seem a little sluggish right now. They got to find a spark.
Not something that you'd necessarily expect out of this St. Louis team. They've got a number of players who returned from last year. As Justin Bocott sits down and Bruce Massey comes in, and they added the league MVP. So maybe there's trying to figure out some chemistry yet early on. Ballard between the rings. Pulls up from 20. That's good. Cody Ballard drains it.
Nothing but net, number 22.
So far, every time that he's taken a shot, he's been extremely confident, and he's not hesitating at all. He's been able to get some nice open looks. St. Louis is going to have to come out, try to put a hand in his face, try to close that gap a little bit. They're giving him way too much room to shoot right now.
Now a three on the way from Hogg. That's no good. Rebound Ballard, but stolen away and then poked out of there by Ballard. And DeWitt commits the foul.
They're still having a hard time over on the defensive end, and not sure if there's just some miscommunication, if it's some chemistry issues, but St. Louis is having a really hard time down here on the offensive end, trying to find something that's going to work, whether it be one of their offensive sets. Maybe they need to start running a little bit more, see if they can't push the ball. They've got to find some way to try to get some easy shots.
Ballard finding Meyer, guarded by DeWitt. Meyer kicking it into the corner. Three on the way from Bunton is no good. They said that was only a two-touch rebound. Meyer gets it back. The floater over DeWitt, and that's good.
That's something that he practices. I know not everybody thinks that that's an easy shot, but you saw him in warm-ups taking that exact shot from that spot on the floor. He likes doing those little floaters. He knows there's going to be some guys who have some length, especially DeWitt. He wanted to make sure that he was able to get the ball over him.
And now a foul called on Nate Green.
When you see some of this, you start to wonder if maybe this St. Louis, the Express is new in the league. They didn't know a lot about him. You wonder if maybe they might have overlooked him a little bit, thought they were going to be able to come in, pick up right where they left off at the end of last season in the championship game. And right now, Lima's come out, and they've taken it to him. They haven't shown any fear at all.
Could very well be the case. Elliott over to Ballard, around the screen by Meyer. Back out to Meyer. Back to Bunton, 10 to shoot. Drives on Gavin Schumann and draws the foul.
Foul number 30, Gavin Schumann, his first.
St. Louis is going to have to start being a little bit more tentative on that defensive end. They've gotten a lot of fouls here early on. They don't want to start getting guys in foul trouble yet.
Free throw a little short. Devon Taylor Bunton, a 75% free throw shooter for the Express last year. Second free throw is up. That one short as well. DeWitt the rebound.
Would like to see St. Louis on this possession start moving a little bit more without the ball, setting some screens, trying to see if they can't get some guys cut into the basket. They've been settling for these jump shots way too soon, way too often here in the early going.
That's Schumann on the drive. He kicks it out. Three on the way. That's good. Nate Green hits from three-point range.
That was a big possession for them. They needed that. Something, hopefully now they can get a little spark going, see if it leads to anything on the defensive end.
Nate Green, 40 years old, out of Idaho State, and Cody Ballard answers at the other end.
Yet again, nothing but net, number 22, Cody Ballard.
Now inside, that's good by Bruce Massey.
Basket by number 32, Bruce Massey.
Accelerating is Johnny Elliott. His shot is blocked, but a foul before the shot.
Good job of running the floor both times by both teams. First on St. Louis on their end, getting to the basket, and then not waiting. Everybody running to the other side of the floor for the Express. Weren't able to put it in. Did get a foul, and now we got a timeout on the floor. Looks like maybe we got an injury.
Thank you to our supporters.
Kenny McGowan went down after the foul, and that means there's a timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. This is MPBA.TV.
Newspaper here in Lima, Ohio. Also, we want you to get your 50-50 tickets. If you're interested in 50-50 tickets, you know.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it.
He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that.
It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
Welcome back to Lima Central Catholic High School. It's Lima 19, St. Louis 8, with 4:25 to play in the first quarter. As we check in Pontiac, the Steam lead the 66ers 24-21, 4:40 to play in the first quarter there.
Great ball movement that time by the Express, getting around, trying to take that extra pass if they can draw the defense out. Unfortunately, Johnny got a little bit too far inside there, took a little bit of an out-of-control shot, and then trying to get the rebound, Meyer went over the top.
Coming up on 4 minutes, Kenny McGowan into the front court. Gets it to Massey. Massey inside to Terry Leak, and there we see some of that athleticism.
That's what they're going to need to do more of. That's what's going to be very successful with them going inside. You know, they have the size on the Express, especially on the inside like that. They need to get more sets drawn like that, trying to get the ball inside.
That shot's blocked. Meyer gets it back. His putback won't go, but there's Johnny Elliott.
Number 10, Johnny Elliott.
Good effort by the Express that time, not settling for a one and done. They kept crashing the boards, eventually made the third one go in.
Long three on the way from Ballard. That comes up short. Kenny McGowan, the rebound. He gets it ahead to Massey. Massey pulls up from 18. Nothing but net for Bruce Massey.
Now Lima doesn't want to get careless now, taking shots at maybe those lower percentage shots. They don't want to get away from what worked so well for them early on.
And a nice drive there by David Atkinson. He finishes with the left hand.
That looked a little bit like St. Louis knew that they've had one too many fouls here in the early going. Already up at 5 as a team. Wasn't quite as aggressive as maybe they would have wanted to be to try to deny that shot.
Nate Green kicks it out. St. Louis swings it into the corner. Kenny McGowan's three is no good. A rebound by Atkinson.
Coming out of the timeout, looks like Coach Farrell said something. St. Louis seems to be moving a little bit more, getting a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more energy.
Shot by Meyer won't go. McGowan, beg your pardon, that's Leak. Fakes the three, gets it to Green. He's working on Atkinson. Gets right around Atkinson and lays it in with the right hand. Good veteran move there by Nate Green.
It was a great move. Got his defender lean, was able to go right around him into the bucket.
Ballard to Elliott. Elliott gets cut off. Ballard gets it back, though. 8 to shoot. Ballard into the lane. Tips it into the corner as he crashes to the floor. Atkinson now to Meyer. Back out to Ballard. 3 on the way. No. Yes!
A little bit of that home rim bounce there. Managed to make it go down. That came from a lot of ball movement. You know, Kyle Meyer, instead of settling for a contested shot, found Cody open on the perimeter for the nice shot.
McGowan on the drive, shoots it up over Meyer. That won't go. Kenny tips the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. They're going to say that went off of the Express. And some substitutions now for Lima as Ed Jenkins comes in, as does Aaron Cross. Didn't see the third sub as we go to timeout with 1:26 left. Express lead the RiverSharks 26-14.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Back at Lima Central Catholic High School, it's the MPABA debut for the Lima Express against the defending runners-up, the St. Louis RiverSharks. And so far for Lima, it's been an impressive debut as they lead St. Louis 26-14. McGowan inbounds, and it gets tipped out of bounds by Meyer, so it will stay with the RiverSharks. Green kicks it out to McGowan on the left wing. Here comes the screen. McGowan shoots the three. That's short. Green tries to rip down the rebound. Unfortunately, lost control of it, but then Kenny McGowan the steal. Massey ends up with it, and the RiverSharks with a fresh set of downs.
Looks like we might be still having some issues with the shot clock there. Might not have reset after the change of possession. St. Louis did a nice job that time around, not running back, staying active down here on the defensive end, even after it looked like Lima was going to be able to come down with that rebound.
Leak shoots it up over Aaron Cross, rattles out, and here comes Lima back the other way again.
They've done a nice job so far tonight in these half-court sets. They've been able to get the extra pass, get ball moving, get some open shots.
Ballard for three. Bang! Cody Ballard drains another long-range jumper.
He is on right now. St. Louis is going to have to do something, maybe get a little extra help, try to see if they can't rotate to him a little bit sooner, because right now everything he's putting up is going in.
McGowan on the drive, throws it up off the glass and draws the foul. Foul was on Aaron Cross, his first. McGowan to the free throw line. Last year, Kenny was a 76.6% free throw shooter. He rattles that one in, and into the game for Lima is Marcus Montague, a late addition to the roster, as Kyle Meyer sits down. Terry Leak sits down. He is replaced by JT Sutton.
So far, Mark Anderson's been going to his bench. It looks like they're pretty deep. Everybody's going to get some playing time today.
McGowan hits them both, and with 27.7 to play in the quarter, it's a 13-point lead for Lima. McGowan, some good defense in the backcourt, forces the turnover. He tries to draw the foul and misses the scoop layup with the left hand. Probably would have been better off just going for the layup rather than trying to get the player to bump into him. Now a three on the way from the other end. That rolls off. And the rebound to Green. 5 seconds left on the clock. Massey on the left wing has his pocket picked by Cody Ballard, and St. Louis is not going to get a shot off. So after one quarter of play, it's Lima 29, St. Louis 14. We are back from Lima Central Catholic High School on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
Also want to invite everybody to join us at Jay's American Pub for our post-game activity.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick. True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes and that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome back to Lima. It's a 29-16 lead for the host Express. As we look at some of the first quarter stats. Nate Green leads the RiverSharks with 5 points. Bruce Massey has 4 for Lima. Cody Ballard already with 15 points for the Express.
St. Louis is going to have to find a way to slow him down a little bit. Right now he's been the big difference in this game. He's picking up right where he left off, going on the backdoor cut there, led to an easy layup.
Number 22, Cody Ballard.
Easy turnover there for the Express. They're going to try to run the floor, see if Cody can't get him some more points. Good ball movement so far by the Express. They're finding a lot of guys moving around the perimeter, trying to go inside, coming back outside with it, not trying to force anything right now. Sutton got a little bit too aggressive there, trying to poke the ball away, and got called for the reach-in foul.
31-16 now in favor of the Express, and that is 3 fouls already on Brandon Hogg. Jenkins gets past Massey, puts up the floater. The pass, oh, and a pretty windmill reverse layup with English off the glass by James Helton. Helton last year in 15 games for the Rochester RiverSharks, champions of the PBL, averaged 13.4 points, and this is a huge pickup for this Lima Express team. Now, the drive by Bocott, the right-hand layup won't go for the lefty, but he does draw the foul. So the foul will be on Marcus Montague, his first.
Marcus is the newest addition to the Express. He's only been here, I believe, this week is when he came.
And he came late in the week. That's right.
Yeah, and they're getting him involved early, though. They're expecting big things from him.
Jenkins over to Ballard. Ballard on the drive. Gets it back from Montague. Now feeds Atkinson inside. Beg your pardon, that was Aaron Cross, but turns it over. Now Justin Bocott at the other end on the fast break goes up with a two-hand dunk, and it's 33-20.
Bocott did a great job of reading that, seeing that nobody was coming back on the defensive end, got out in front of everybody, and led to the easy dunk.
Cross feeds it inside, and it gets tipped away. I believe that foul is going to be on J.T. Sutton, and it is.
Foul number 42, J.T. Sultan. His third, team second.
A lot of the same so far for Lima. They've been able to come down, make some easy buckets. St. Louis is going to have to step up some of this pressure on the defensive end if they're going to want to climb back in this game already down 13.
Ballard around the screen by Cross, feeds it out inside. Now the kick out, 3 on the way from Helton. That's no good. DeWitt the rebound. And DeWitt gets fouled from behind by Marcus Montague, so he picks up a couple of quick fouls.
Foul number 40, Marcus Montague, his second, team
Not
second.
much of a break for Myers. He's going to come back in and get Montague. He's going to sit down with those 2 fouls.
Fortunately, Lima has a bit of a lead to play with, so they can rest some guys if they get in foul trouble. But do not fall asleep on this RiverSharks team. DeWitt over to Hogg. Hogg on the drive, goes between the legs, has to stop. Bumped in the lane, puts the shot up off the glass. It won't go. And that foul is going to be on Ed Jenkins.
Ed Jenkins, his first.
That's his first. Ed Jenkins, also out of the University of Northwestern Ohio. Started 63 games for them, averaging 13.9 points a game, as well as 4.1 assists.
I like the aggressiveness of Hogg trying to get in the lane there. You know, drew the contact, trying to get some buckets. They're going to have to do that and see if maybe they can't get Lima to play off of them just a little bit so they can get some more open space for some baskets.
Hogg's second free throw attempt, also no good. And some hand fighting in between 2 sets of players.
Looked like maybe it was Meyer and DeWitt got into it going for that rebound.
Yeah.
And don't necessarily blame Meyer. When you're trying to handle somebody the size and strength of DeWitt, sometimes you got to do what you can to try to get a little bit of advantage.
That's the second foul on Meyer. Pass inside to Leak. He tried to get it inside, and it gets gobbled up by Aaron Cross. Beautiful drive by Bruce Massey, goes to the glass, lays it in, and draws the foul.
Nice little give and go there at the top of the key, got around the defenders, went straight to the basket with it. It was a great move, went up strong, drew the contact, and slowly but surely St. Louis is getting their way back into this game. Free throw was good. Now they get themselves within 10. This is the closest they've been in quite a while. Let's see what they do on the defensive end here, see if they can't stop Lima, get one shot, and get going back the other way.
Meyer spinning into the lane, up and under move around Keith DeWitt. Tough bucket by Kyle Meyer.
It was a great move. He never stopped his feet, kept moving, kept turning, trying to find some open space there. Found it, and then they caused a turnover on the other end, coming back their way.
Not sure, but I think Ray Farrell was maybe wanting to call timeout. Thought I heard him try to call for one. Now Meyer zips the pass across to Cross. His three-pointer comes up well short. Rebound by Massey. Massey outside to Leak. He attacks baseline but gets cut off by Cross. Now throws the pass. I think that was supposed to be an alley-oop to Keith DeWitt.
I think DeWitt didn't quite see that one coming in. It was a little late realizing what they were trying to do there.
I think I agree with you. Now Cross to Jenkins for 3. Bang! Ed Jenkins hits the 3 ball. And just like that, it's back to a 15-point lead, 38-23.
They got back to what they kind of gotten away from there early in the second quarter. They got the ball moving again. Make sure 2, 3, 4 people touched it before they took that basket, and Jenkins went up. I don't think St. Louis is going to be real happy with that call. They thought Lima got a piece of that and forced it out, but the ref saw it a different way. Now Lima's coming back on the offensive end.
Jenkins attacking Schumann. Schumann the rebound. Gets it up ahead to Bocott. Bocott has his foot taken out from under him inadvertently by Cody Ballard. Bocott hits the floor.
I think that time Cody was trying to avoid contact.
He was, and I think he just took Bocott's foot out from under him as he tried to let him go by, and JB hit the floor kind of hard on his hand.
Cody seemed like he was going to be okay with letting him go with that uncontested layup. Just, feet got tied up there, and unfortunately took the hard spill onto the floor.
Yep. And I believe is exactly what happened. So Bocott will go to the free throw line. Last year with Bloomington, a 71% free throw shooter. Nice crowd here for a Sunday afternoon in Lima. The bleachers below us, very well populated. You see a pretty good segment of crowd on our camera shot behind the benches and scorers table. Excellent crowd in Pontiac, I understand.
Luckily, none of that weather outside kept these fans away. They wanted to come and see this opening game between the Express and St. Louis.
66ers leading the Steam 43-39 with 9:06 to play in the second quarter.
Lazy pass right there by Kyle. Not quite sure what they called there. They were both looked like they were trying to go and save it from going out of bounds. I think they got Ball pushing off of Cody, trying to save that, trying to keep him from saving it for the Express, and the Express going to keep it on the offensive end here.
Ballard to inbound, 7:52 to play, second quarter. Now Bocott on the bump. No, they're going to call that an offensive foul.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he got that right hand around, tried to hook his defender, pass behind him, so you see he couldn't get a layup out of that.
So that's the first foul on James Helton. Bocott moved his feet, got in front of the defender, or rather in front of the offensive player. Bocott can be a very good defender when he wants to be. Now that's Leak kicking it out. 3 on the way. I thought his right foot was on the line, but Phil Yuha says no, that was for 3. It missed anyway, so the point is moot, but ball goes out of bounds in front of the Lima bench, and it'll be Express basketball.
St. Louis doing a good job right now playing inside out, trying to get the ball inside, see if they can't get something off the rim. If it's not there, kicking it out quick, try to get themselves some space for them three-pointers. And, unfortunately, nothing's really falling for them right now. They start getting some of those things to fall, though, and Lima's going to have their hands full.
Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from, around the country or around the world. This is the MPBA, Midwest Professional Basketball Association. Nice pass inside and a strong move there by James Helton.
Sometimes that can look easy, but changing direction like that in midair is definitely something difficult, especially when you're trying to keep your body under control, and that's the second time today. Not quite as difficult as the first one where he went underneath and switched hands for the layup, but still it takes a lot of focus to try to change like that.
Beautiful pass inside to find Terry Leak, and he gets pushed by Aaron Cross. That'll be the second on Cross. So Terry Leak will go to the free throw line from the stripe last year, 69.4%.
I like the hesitation. There's a little bit of hesitation, got his defender up in the air, drew the contact, was hoping to be able to get the and one, unfortunately didn't. Now he misses the front end of his 2 shots here. St. Louis has got to start dropping some of these free throws if they want to get back in this game.
Cross sits down, Atkinson comes back in for Lima. Second free throw rattles out after looking like it was halfway down. Ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be to Lima. St. Louis kind of looking at each other, shaking their heads, going, man, what's going on here? They trail by 15. That's the biggest deficit of the game, 40-25.
I'm not sure if the frustration's coming from the offensive end, defensive end, a little bit of both. They weren't expecting Lima to be this aggressive with them early on, but they're going to have to try to figure out something so they can right this ship.
Brandon Hogg on the foul. That was actually his second. Now the jumper by Jenkins blocked. Now the pass zipped ahead, and the one-hand layup goes up and in for Bocat.
Getting points on the offensive end, coming from the defensive side. Great block, got up, didn't foul his man. Got to get everybody going the other way. St. Louis got out real quick.
3 on the way by Ballard was well short.
Great no-look pass. Had everybody looking to the corner.
Now there's something wrong with the rim, too, at that end. Timeout on the floor, but they're going to have to fix the rim. DeWitt went up and dunked that, and nobody has noticed except for somebody on the Lima team bench. They're going to extend it to a full, so we're going to take a break as well. 6:02 left in the second quarter. Lima leads 40-29.
Stop and get some healthy snacks out of the concession stand. We also want to thank us.
Back to the action in Lima, just inside of 6 minutes to play second quarter. The Express on top 40-29.
They were able to fix the rim, thankfully, over here on St. Louis's side. You know, we talked about how strong DeWitt was, and he proved it right there. What looked like it was just going to be a regular jam ended up keeping the rim bent a little bit there, got caught. They were able to fix it, and back to action now.
Brandon Hogg commits his third foul. 66ers in steam, playing a tight one in Pontiac, 47-44, with 5:50 to play in the second. Elliott to Atkinson. He puts up the 20-footer. That misses right. DeWitt the rebound.
Coming out of the timeout there, Coach Anderson can't be overly happy with that offensive possession. Weren't a lot of movement without the ball. Kind of settled for the two-pointer there. Still got an 11-point lead. Still got some room to play with here. But like you said earlier, Craig, you don't want to fall asleep on St. Louis. They can score in bunches and they can score quick. Lima doesn't want to get into the habit of coming down and going for quick possessions.
Terry Leak to the free throw line. That foul was on David Atkinson, his first. Second free throw by Leak too strong, but Justin Bocat the offensive rebound. Bocat, change of direction, goes up high with the left hand. That won't go. Rebound Meyer.
Wasn't a bad look. Tried to take it inside, get it up high. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to fall.
Elliott the pull up from 15, banks it in.
Banks are open even on Sunday. Number 10, Johnny Elliott.
Our announcer called it too, and I didn't hear him call it, but it's still good even when you bank it in like that.
That's absolutely right. Now a long 2 on the way from Leak. 2 strong. Here comes Lima back the other way.
Not a lot of movement on that possession. They just settled for the contested jump shot, and unfortunately didn't get anything on that side.
Devon Taylor Bunton tried to get it into Kyle Meyer, but it went off the foot of Gavin Schumann. And it goes out of bounds, and 14 put back on the shot clock for the Express. Coming up at halftime, we will have a statistical rundown of the first half. We will also be talking with the owner and general manager of the Lima Express, Lewis Shine. Be glad to have Lewis come up here, share a little bit about what's going on in Lima. Now Helton, beautiful dish inside to Kyle Meyer. He can't finish. And then Devon Taylor Bunton went up and missed, but he drew the foul. I believe the foul is going to be on Bocott. No, beg your pardon. It's going to be on Gavin Schumann.
That was a great look. You're seeing there a little of the continuity that we talked about. You know, the Express have some players that have been playing together for quite a while. On both sides of the floor, you know, the pass went off to the left side of the basket there, but on the right side, they had another player cut into the basket, too. He could have picked either way for an easy layup.
Second free throw, no good. Rebounded, though, by David Atkinson, and he goes back up with the left hand and lays it in. And it's back to a 15-point lead at 45-30. McGowan to Schumann on the right wing. Bounces it inside to Keith DeWitt. And an offensive foul against Keith DeWitt. He hooked with the hand or with the arm and went around. And if there's one weakness that DeWitt has, we saw him do that quite a bit last year. He's got a great drop step and a great move, but he just hooks with that off arm sometimes.
He's really, really long. I mean, he's a tall guy. You know, he's 6'8", but that wingspan is even longer than that. And sometimes, as they get the bucket to fall there, but sometimes with DeWitt down there, he may not even do it realizing it, but when you do that, it's going to be very, very over-exaggerated. The refs are going to catch you almost every time.
Biggest lead of the game, but Gavin Schumann answers with a 3 at the other end.
30, Gavin Schumann.
Now a wide open 3. That's good by David Atkinson.
Can't be slow on your rotations. Unfortunately, St. Louis was watching the ball more than they were trying to defend it and left a wide open 3.
Back to a 17-point lead as Bocott on the drive. He gets pinballed down, and he'll go to the free throw line. Foul's going to be on Devon Taylor Bunton.
25, Devon Taylor Bunton. His second.
That is his second.
I like how St. Louis is starting to be a little bit more aggressive here on the offensive end, trying to drive, trying to see if they can't draw the foul, see if they can get to the free throw line, maybe claw their way back into this game. You know, we got 3.5 minutes left here in the first half. If they keep trying to do that, see if they can't get this to a 10-point lead or maybe into single digits before we go into halftime, make the adjustments they need to make and come back out in the second half and try to close that gap a little bit.
Bocott sinks the first free throw to cut it back down to 16. He'll get another attempt. 3:24 to play, second quarter. Second free throw is in for JB, the reigning most valuable player in the Midwest Professional Basketball Association. Averaged 26 points per game last year with Bloomington to go along with 5.9 boards per contest. Devon Taylor Bunton fades away from just inside the free throw line. That won't go, but Kyle Meyer uses his length to back tap the rebound to Elliott. Elliott now finds Meyer along the baseline, and then it's swatted by Justin Bocott off of Kyle Meyer, and that's going to be RiverSharks ball.
St. Louis got lucky there. Lima crashed the boards, got their second chance. Unfortunately, they couldn't hold on to the ball. And now St. Louis is coming back the other way, see if they can't put some points, much-needed points on the board.
3 on the way from Schumann. That was short, and he knew it immediately. Rebound by Meyer. Tried to get it to Atkinson, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be St. Louis ball. Into the game now for the RiverSharks is Aaron Williams. He's wearing number 24, 6'6", 210 out of Chicago State. It will be Massey to inbound. Instead, we'll be taking a timeout. 50-35 in favor of the Lima Express. This first half has been all Lima. We're back in a minute on MPBA.com.
None of my business.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was flirting with him.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, boys will be boys.
No more, I'll say something next time.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
It's been all Lima this first half. They've got a 15-point lead right now. They led by as many as 17 a moment ago. 2:51 to play, second quarter.
Yeah, if you're Lima, you have got to be happy with how this first half has gone. I don't know that you could have drawn it up much better. Offensive foul there, a little push off, sends the ball back going Lima's way. St. Louis has got to do some things to clean some stuff up, or it's going to get to a rough night. It's a 15-point lead. It's been as much as 17. They have been as close as 10 here recently, but they're going to have to figure out a way to kind of maintain some sort of consistency and get momentum going back their way.
Ballard. Now Atkinson for 3, misses badly.
The big man wants one of those. There's a couple times he's taken that three-pointer. So far, not had the greatest luck with it. I think he's only managed to get one down. A couple been off the mark by quite a bit.
Coming up at halftime, we will be taking a look at all the stats from this first half. We'll also have a talk with Lewis Shine, the owner and GM of the Lima Express. Nice floater there by Bruce Massey. Meanwhile, in Pontiac, the 66ers have opened up a 9-point lead over the Steam, 58-49, with 2:14 to play in the second quarter. Last night, it was the Windy City Groove over the defending champions, the Champaign Swarm, 131-124. That was an exciting game to broadcast, I will tell you. You had 2 players with 30 or more points. You had 3 players with double-doubles. And it was an entertaining game. It wasn't just an all-star type game where nobody played any defense. The offenses were just really clicking last night. Ballard's free throw is good.
Big offensive possession right now for St. Louis. It's really important they come down here, run something, try to get some easy points.
Nice drive by Kenny Mack. Shot won't go, but he does draw the foul.
They just are not having any luck, even finishing at the rim, getting those close shots, three-pointers. Nothing's really seeming to fall for them right now. It's got to be getting frustrating for them.
Foul was on Johnny Elliott. That's his first. McGowan to the free throw line. Nails the first. 52-38 now. McGowan hits them both. Leads down to 13. Cody Ballard on the wing, guarded by Massey. Gets it to Meyer. He's guarded by Nate Green. Now back to Ballard. Tries the turnaround fadeaway, but it's swatted out of there nicely by Massey. Now Meyer gets it back, puts up the floater and in.
Everything's working right now for Lima, even when things aren't going quite well. Shot clock was running down on that time. Meyer was still able to get the bucket.
Gavin Schumann hands it to Massey, back to Schumann. Schumann on the drive, goes with the right hand. That just won't find its way over the front rim. Ball gets tapped out of bounds by Nate Green, and it's Express ball with 1:02 to play in the second quarter. Now Atkinson on the drive loses his footing, but he's going to draw the foul.
You can see St. Louis is getting frustrated. Their players are starting to look the other way, starting to wonder what's going on, how are we going to be able to fix this. They just can't quite seem to find any rhythm right now.
You have to wonder if that's an issue with the coach taking over late in the week, as the free throw by Atkinson rims out. Inside of a minute to play in Pontiac in the first half. Still a 9-point lead for the 66ers in their MPBA debut. Second free throw by Atkinson is good. Once again, you can watch every MPBA game this season streamed live, free, and in HD on the MPBA website, mpba.tv. And a travel called against Massey as his foot goes out from under him on some perspiration on the floor. He gets called for the travel. 43 seconds to play in the half. 16-point edge for Lima. Ballard pulls up for three, misses that one right side. McGowan the rebound. Schumann, little hesitation move, kicks it out to McGowan. Now McGowan on the drive, gives it to Schumann underneath, and he goes up and gets it in before Atkinson is able to close.
Nice strong move, good look for St. Louis there to get the ball inside. They're not going to be able to have a lot of time left, but it was a good chance of trying to go for a 2-for-1 here at the end of the quarter. Almost caused a turnover there. St. Louis wanted a kick ball. Looks like they're going to get it. And now St. Louis is going to have about 11 seconds left on the clock here to end this half and hopefully get some offensive points on the board now.
Another miss by the RiverSharks. Rebounded by Elliott, and that's going to do it for the first half.
St. Louis RiverSharks 41.
It was all Lima in this first half, 55-41. And they did it a number of different ways. Kyle Meyer was very effective, but Cody Ballard, the big weapon. As we go to the half. When we come back, we will have a statistical recap of this first half. We will also have a conversation with the head coach and general manager of the Lima Express, Mr. Louis Shine. We are back in 2 minutes on the MPBA Broadcasting Network on mpba.tv.
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick. True that. All right. Got it. Okay.
Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Welcome back to Lima Central Catholic High School, where in the first half it was all Lima, 55-41. We will get to the stats in just a moment, but that's got to be pleasing to the ears of the gentleman sitting next to me, the owner and general manager of the Lima Express, Mr. Lewis Shine. The Express making their Midwest Professional Basketball Association debut today. And Lewis, you've got to be pretty pleased with the product you're seeing on the floor.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. It's always good when you can look up and, see that your team is ahead, but we still have 2 quarters to play, so we just got to, keep that up. And I'm sure, I'm trusting in Coach Anderson that him and the coaching staff is in the locker room making sure they tweak a few things so we can come out as strong again,
Now, you've been around for 2 years. This will be your 3rd year in professional basketball here in Lima. And the program that you've developed here, you've been able to have a lot of consistency with some quality local players. You've had Mark Anderson as your coach all 3 seasons, and you're really building something special here in Lima.
I mean, it's something that I love to do, man, and I always say it's the closest thing to actually playing. I miss playing, but I know I'm not going to play forever, so that part of my life ended. And being a part of this, where I can help guys, where I can help, the coaching staff, to achieve their dreams. Everybody here, it's our goal to help them to move on, to get to the next level, to get overseas, to get up to the D League. That's what we want to do, man, and we really pride ourselves on that. So when we build our program, that's one of the keystones that we really put at the forefront of what we're doing.
You guys have had a lot of success moving guys overseas for a program that hasn't been around that long, and that's something that the MPBA has been able to accomplish in just 1 year. That's something that was attractive as far as Lima coming into the MPBA, because I think both organizations kind of have that mentality that we're trying to help people move on and build upon their dreams because they have passion for basketball and they want to make a career out of it.
Yeah, when we, I had some relationships, even when I was in the ABA and different leagues, even when I played. And I just really, kept those relationships. And when I started this, I knew that moving guys on is what it was about. So myself, along with my player development guy, Greg Radar Williamson, he has a lot of connections. A lot of people from Lima, I have a cousin named Clay Tucker. He's played overseas for years. So there was connections established before we actually started this thing out, and we knew that we wanted to do that. And so when we got going, we pulled on some of those connections. And of course, with film and different things like that, that's very important. But guys have to produce. We can't just send guys because they have film. But we work with the player development, get the guys in the shape, to work on the skills that we know other people look at, and then with the film and the credible league, we're able to push guys to get to the next level.
And it's great to see the great crowd that you have for your opener here this afternoon. You've got a bunch of kids on the floor at halftime, and everyone's having a good time, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, it's about the kids, and we really strive to do a lot for the young guys and the young girls out there. We had a bit of snow here, but it had to come at some point. It's been pretty much spring or summer type of weather up until this point. So, and you don't like to see that, especially on an opener. But I am thankful for the crowd that we do have out here, and we love our fans.
Well, we're thankful that the Lima Express have come into the MPBA, and we're looking forward to a great partnership for the next however long we can keep you here. Maybe you move up to the D League. Maybe the Lima Express will be in the NBA someday.
Well, we know the NBA won't work only because our city is a city of about 120,000, so it'll have to grow tremendously. But just in terms of NBA, D League, and things like that, we of course it's everyone's dream to grow and to get to the highest. But I believe that being in the MPBA is a fine opportunity to have minor league basketball in our city. And if this was our home for good, we're happy with that.
That's Lewis Shine, the owner and general manager of the Lima Express. Glad he can join us. Thank you very much. And we will be back in 1 minute to look at stats for the first half. This is MPBA.TV. take a look at the first half stats from Lima.
$150 for your winner. Come on. Buy your 50-50.
For the Express, Cody Ballard, 19 points on 4 of 4 from 2-point range, 3 of 7 from 3-point range. Kyle Meyer with 14, David Atkinson 8, Johnny Elliott 6, James Helton 4, Ed Jenkins 3, Devon Taylor Bunton with 1. For St. Louis, Justin Beaucont with 11, Bruce Massey 9, Gavin Schumann 5, Nate Green 5, Kenny McGowan has 4, Terry Leak 3, JT Sutton 2, and Keith DeWitt, shockingly only 2 points in that first half. The leading rebounder for St. Louis was Keith DeWitt with 4, and the leading rebounder for Lima was Kyle Meyer with 5. Schumann, Massey, and McGowan each with a pair of assists for the RiverSharks. Massey has 2 steals, but he also has 5 turnovers. Cody Ballard leads Lima with 4 assists. He's also got 4 turnovers, and Kyle Meyer has a pair of steals in that first half. Nate Garlock, what do you think St. Louis has to do to come back in the second half?
Well, a lot of it's going to be about consistency for them. You know, every now and then they've been getting on a run, been able to get out, push the ball up the floor, get some baskets. But then, you know, things would happen either on the defensive end or the offensive side. They're settling for quick baskets, not really running much of their offensive sets. They're going to have to find a way to get back to that, get the ball inside. And the number one thing is they have got to get DeWitt going. He was held in check for most of that, got in some foul trouble early on, couldn't quite get himself some points on the board. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in the offense.
Let's see if Ray Farrell is able to do that in the second half. We are back in 1 minute on MPBA.TV with second half action from Lima.
Your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Welcome back to Lima. We are at Lima Central Catholic High School. Beautiful facility. Heading to the second half, the Lima Express up 55-41. And we will see if Ray Farrell can dial up some offense here in the second half. Keith DeWitt, as we said in that last segment, only 2 points. And DeWitt, last season in the MPBA, averaged 18.1 points per game and 10.8 rebounds. He's doing fine on the glass. They just haven't been able to get him going offensively, so we will see.
They did a nice job in the second quarter making adjustments to slow Ballard down a little bit. You know, he'd gotten off to that hot start in the first quarter, had 15 points. Only had 4 going down into the second quarter, but they still weren't able to slow the rest of the team down. And you know, they kept scoring, and then couldn't find much consistency on their offensive side of the ball for St. Louis. So they got to find a nice balance there, keeping Ballard in check, find a way to slow down Lima on the offensive end while trying to figure out what they're going to do on the offensive end themselves.
Yeah, the dynamic duo of Ballard and Meyer for Lima are really clicking here in the early stages for Mark Anderson. See if they can keep it up in the second half.
You know, we touched a couple of times there on the first half about the changes that St. Louis had, especially at the head coaching position. Coach Farrell coming in this week to take over and try to run things. So you wonder if maybe that contributed to that slow start for St. Louis. Let's see if they can't get things rolling here in the second half.
Cross starting the second half. Beg your pardon, that's Kyle Meyer. Thought I saw 20 instead of 30.
Got Meyer on the foul there. Ball was going the other way. He reached out. Looked like I don't think he was trying to trip him up, just trying to reach for the ball, but they got him for the foul there.
That is his third. Same 5 starters on the floor for Lima in the second half. Elliott, Ballard, Atkinson, Taylor Bunton, and Meyer. And for St. Louis, it's Bocott, Leak, Hogg, DeWitt, and Sutton, the same 5 starters for them. They go to DeWitt early. His shot pops out, and the rebound by Cody Ballard.
Ballard went strong there, tried to get to the bucket. Unfortunately, couldn't get it to fall. Now St. Louis is running the floor. This is what they're going to need to do here early on in this third quarter. Coming out of halftime, they're going to try to speed the tempo up a little bit, see if they can't get Lima leaning a little bit, see if we can't get some early fouls, get some easy points up on the board.
Foul was on David Atkinson. That was his second, and to the free throw line is Justin Bocott. He had 11 points in the first half. Comes up short on the first. Second free throw is up and in for JB, and it's 55-42. Bocott, a near steal and breakaway as he tipped the pass intended for Cody Ballard away, but he tipped it into the front row of seats there, and so Lima will retain possession. Elliott over to Ballard, checked by Bocott. Now, nice defense by Bocott as Ballard tried the baseline, then threw up a prayer. Good defense by St. Louis that time. Now the pass intended for Sutton is intercepted, and Lima back the other way. Elliott, a running floater in the lane. That won't go, but he gets his own rebound. Tight ropes along the baseline and then draws the foul on Terry Leak.
Did a nice job there, sticking with his shot, getting a second chance, controlling his dribble, tight rope down the baseline there, trying to get back out to the outside to reset things, and drew the foul.
That was the first foul on Leak. Leak only 3 points in that first half. Pass inside, stolen by Sutton, and here comes Bocott. Nice little step around, right-hand layup, and it's down to an 11-point lead.
Great move by Bocott going in. Fake like he was going to pass to somebody cutting, got his defender leaning, and he had an open layup.
That shot missed by Elliott, rebounded by Hogg, and Sutton was not looking fortunate to get the shot. Goes up over a pair of defenders and draws the foul. Boy, JT Sutton was not expecting that outlet pass, and he was pretty lucky to be able to corral that.
Yeah, but St. Louis is going to need a couple of those breaks start going their way so they can stay in this game. In the first half, it seemed like most of those breaks were going against them. They're going to need to see if they can't reverse those roles a little bit.
That foul was on David Atkinson. That was his third.
Don't look now. It's like we talked about in the first half. St. Louis, they came out here. They've come out strong in the second half, and now they have a chance to bring that lead to into single digits, under 10, but it still stays at 10 when being down by 17 at one point.
Well, as you said, they've got to start making some free throws, though. Still not shooting very well from the line as a team. In that first half, St. Louis 13 of 20. Lima actually a little bit worse. They were 6 of 12 from the free throw line in the first half. Jumper by Atkinson, no good over the back of the backboard. Hit the basket support, and so that will be out of bounds to the RiverSharks.
Lima needs to slow down a little bit. They're getting a little bit ahead of themselves, trying to force some things that aren't quite there. They're going to need to take their time, try to run some offensive sets.
Now Hogg the drive. He gets them down to 8.
falling asleep on the defensive side there. Lima wasn't really paying much of attention, let him go right to the baseline. I think he was even a little bit surprised how open he was under the basket.
And now Mark Anderson says, fellas, we're making a little run here. He takes timeout, so we'll take it as well. 9:25 to play, third quarter. St. Louis clawing their way back from Lima. .60 run for the St. Louis RiverSharks to start the third quarter, as Nate Garlock schooled me on some basic reading skills. Glad you can be with us. Hope you're enjoying this one as much as we are. He's Nate Garlock. I'm Craig Fada. Now DeWitt into the lane, but he draws the foul before the shot. It's going to be on Atkinson, I believe. And that is his fourth. So Atkinson comes out and James Helton comes in. West Virginia State product. Key component of Rochester's championship teams in the PBL. Now the turnaround by Hogg is no good. There's Helton, whips the pass inside to Meyer. Beautiful needle threading pass by James Helton, and Lima has its first 2 points of the second half. It's back to a 10-point lead.
Helton came in, gave him a little spark right away, ran the floor with his head up and caught Meyer cutting.
Bocott misses the three, but the tip is there. Who are they going to give that to? I think they're going to give it to Terry Leak. Oh, they're going to give it to Brandon Hogg. Figured the taller guy would get the tip on that one. Now Meyer, the floater from the right elbow. That won't go. Gets his own rebound. Goes back up and in.
Nice job following the shot on that one. Didn't give up on it and managed to tip it back in for two.
Now Hogg with the wide open lane goes to the right hand and lays it in.
Meyer and Ballard look like they're getting a little bit frustrated. Not a lot of help, as much help as there was in the first half. Guys kind of standing around watching, thinking that things are covered, and they're leading to wide open layups right now.
Pontiac has opened up a 14-point lead over the Gateway Steam, 76-62 with 7:23 to play, third quarter.
We had a turnover there on the Express. Ballard was trying to catch Jenkins, going for the alley-oop. The lead's down to 8 points now. It's not time to kind of do some of these cute things. You don't have quite that lead that you had. Try to run that offensive set. Take some time off the clock. Run that shot clock down. You don't want to get into a running match with St. Louis.
Now Hogg on the attack again. Spins, kicks it out. Now Leak driving. He goes to the right hand, won't go. DeWitt the offensive rebound. Manages to track it down in the corner. And they did not reset the shot clock. Bocott goes. Jerry Middleton had been signaling the table to reset the shot clock, and Bocott attacked thinking he only had 2 seconds left. And a technical foul called.
Didn't quite see what they called it on.
I didn't either. It was on Terry Leak.
Don't know if maybe he was having a little bit of a disagreement with one of the refs there, but regardless, going to send Lyman to the free throw line and give them possession.
Cody Ballard hits. Jerry Middleton teed up Terry Leak immediately, so Terry had to have said something, and he's been known to talk to the officials on occasion. Us in our position up here did not get a chance to hear what Terry Leak said, but that'll cost him $50. And Ray Farrell sits Terry Leak down. Beautiful scoop layup by Helton.
Helton's come in and given him an immediate shot in the arm, gotten a couple of nice points off of some good possessions by him.
Now a nice spin move there by J.T. Sutton.
St. Louis is doing a much better job in the second half getting inside and getting to the rim.
Lead back down to 7. Three on the way. That's good. Johnny Elliott gets it back to 10.
That was a clutch three. He had defenders in his face. He had the screen right next to him. Didn't have a lot of room right there on the baseline, but he put it up with a lot of confidence.
Now Sutton's pass intercepted, and here comes Lima. Kyle Meyer with the right-hand layup.
Coast to coast on the turnover there. Took it in strong.
Kyle Meyer.
Now Hogg, 6 minutes to play, third quarter. Over to Green, now to Massey, back to Green, and he draws the foul. I believe that's going to be on Helton.
So far, both teams have traded runs. 6-0 run by St. Louis got them back into it. They've managed to get that deficit down to 7 points. Lima answered, went on a run on their own, and they're back up to a 14-point lead.
Free throw by Green is good. Was getting some information on Nate Green before the game from Ray Farrell, and he said he was actually in training camp with Karl Malone back in the 90s with the Utah Jazz.
It's nice when you got players like that in your organization. They've been around for a while. He's a little bit older, but he has a lot of experience and getting a chance to be in training camp at the NBA, be around players like that. They bring a certain level of experience and calmness to your team at times.
Elliott for 3. Bang! Johnny Elliott hits another three-pointer.
He has found his spot on the floor.
Just like that, the lead's back to 14.
Nice job running the floor there. Saw DeWitt running. He couldn't quite get it to go, but his teammate Traylon tipped it right back in for him.
Beg your pardon, it was 16, now 14. Now another outside jumper by the Express.
Way outside, 33, James Helton.
Helton hits again. Helton having a big impact in this third quarter for Lima.
Was worried that maybe the foul trouble at Atkinson was going to be a big deal for Express, might put him down a little bit, but actually it's been the exact opposite. Helton came in to replace him and has led his team right back up to the open up a big lead.
Hogg hits that time, 72-58. Helton again. How about this third quarter for James Helton?
Coming off the bench, hitting some huge shots for Lima.
Now a 3 on the way by Hogg. That's short. Hesitation dribble by Helton, has his pocket picked. And Hogg goes behind the back. Nifty move, fakes the pass to DeWitt. And a nice attack there by Brandon Hogg.
Nice job. Quick hands on the defensive end of the ball, led to some easy points on the opposite end.
Now a near steal by Green into the corner. Helton thought about the three, instead takes the floater, and James Helton is on fire.
3 baskets in a row for him. He's managed to extend this lead to 16 for Lima. He's been huge coming in for Atkinson.
Green gives it up to Bocott. Pulls up for the wide open jumper, and Justin Bocott hits.
Good rotation there for St. Louis. Came out, left the man wide open. Lima didn't come out to put any pressure on him, and he got a nice, easy jumper there.
Green with another near steal. Fast hands for a big man. 3 from the corner for Elliott. Air ball. Massey ahead to Bocott. Pass a little too far for him to attack. So he's got to pull it back around. Now he goes into the lane. Spins. Puts up the... I don't even know how to describe that left-handed shot. It wasn't a floater, wasn't a runner, wasn't a scoop, wasn't a hook.
Nice little push there.
Yeah, something like that. Now another turnover. 3-on-2 for the RiverSharks. Hogg into the lane, and an offensive foul against Brandon Hogg. And that is his 4th.
That one wasn't too hard to call. That was easy for everybody to see. Ballard was down there, had his position maintained, didn't move his feet at all. He ball lowered his shoulder, going right in there.
Timeout on the floor, so we will take it as well. St. Louis got to within 7, but now Lima has opened it back up to 14. 2:52 to play, third quarter.
Boys will be boys.
Well, she was drunk.
Well, he was drunk.
She was asking for it.
He warned her.
Not my problem.
Why doesn't she just leave? But he's such a nice guy.
He said he was sorry.
We don't talk about that. It's just the way people are.
We're never going to fix it.
No more excuses.
No more silence.
No more violence.
It's time to end domestic violence and sexual assault once and for all.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sport.
It's a 14-point lead for the Lima Express, 76-62 with 2:52 to play in this third quarter. James Helton, a huge impact for Mark Anderson's Lima squad. Johnny Elliott hitting a pair of threes in this third quarter as well, in the midst of a St. Louis RiverSharks run that saw St. Louis get down to within 7. Hesitation move by Devon Taylor Bunton. He's got to kick it out, and it's stolen by Kenny McGowan. And then Bunton gets called for the foul as St. Louis tries to start a fast break opportunity.
Got caught in the air there, didn't really know what he wanted to do with it. It was easy to read for St. Louis, managed to get in front of it. And then as he's trying to get back, he blocks away. Unfortunately drawing the foul there.
Third foul on Devon Taylor Bunton.
St. Louis has done a really nice job so far in the second half of bringing the tempo back up, having a lot more energy, trying to get a lot more active when people moving without the ball. Unfortunately, a couple of times, when they've gotten down here, it seems like whenever things start kind of going a little bit wrong for them, they kind of shut down maybe a little bit mentally, not quite as into it as they should be, and they're forcing some shots up. But so far, they've done a nice job hanging around. A nice little run again here to end this third quarter will put them in good position going into the fourth.
16 fouls in the quarter now for Lima, so Kenny McGowan at the free throw line hit the first. fault. I thought he hit the first. Oh, he did hit the first. They finally put both free throws up.
Looks like Lima got the timeout in time just before that 10-second mark came across.
So Lima takes timeout. I did not see if it was a 20 or a full. It's a 20, so we'll keep it here as we take a peek in Pontiac. The 66ers with a 13-point lead, 89-76. Make it 92-76 with 3:35 to play in the third quarter there. Great crowd in Pontiac, a great crowd here in Lima as well at the Edward C. Hurd Gymnasium at Lima Central Catholic High School. This is a terrific environment for basketball. So glad you can be joining us from wherever you're tuned in from. Craig Fada and Nate Garlock on the call from Lima, where we've seen the Host Express in their MPBA debut.
They've been pretty impressive so far in this first game in the new league. I think they've came out a little bit, caught St. Louis a little bit by surprise.
The RiverSharks led 1-0, and that was the last time they led. Ballard on the drive, has to pull it up and kicks it out. And now St. Louis finally comes away with a turnover. McGowan with the alley-oop to Bruce Massey, and Massey scores, and it's down to 10 again with 2 minutes to play third quarter.
Nice job running the floor there, keeping his head up, saw his teammate cut and was able to get it up there for him in good position. I think Kyle thinks it got knocked out of his hand there, and St. Louis pushed it over, but the ref saw it the other way, went over the backboard, St. Louis ball.
Now McGowan up the left side, minute 45 to play. Green back to McGowan on the right side. Out to Schumann. Schumann drives, has it blocked out of bounds, and it will remain with the RiverSharks with 10 to shoot.
That was a really nice first step he took there and able to get everybody going one way, cut back through the other way. Lima sent some help down on the backside there and was able to get a hand on the ball and send it out of bounds instead of giving him the easy layup.
Luke Coles and Ed Jenkins into the game now for Mark Anderson as Elliott and Meyer have a seat. Jump hook by Massey gets the RiverSharks back to within 8.
And that's where they're having a lot of their success is by getting the ball into the paint there and finishing right up there close to the rim. Reach in foul there by St. Louis, trying to go for the steal, see if they couldn't get this lead down to 6. Unfortunately, got a little bit too excited there, got caught up in there and got called for the reach.
Well, they had a foul to give, so they've still, I believe, got another foul to give. If they haven't put that one up on the board yet. Did not hear who that foul was on. Ballard feeds it to Atkinson, but the pass stolen. Here comes Nate Green. Now Kenny McGowan into the corner, 3 on the way. No good, rebounded by Aaron Cross.
Lima got a little lucky on that one. They left him wide open there on the corner. That would have been huge if he didn't be able to put that down. Unfortunately, he wasn't. Let's see if they can keep the intensity up on the defensive side here.
Inside of a minute to play, Helton's left-hand hook won't go. Rebounded by Massey, tipped to Green. Massey gets it back from Leak. Now with 3 by Green is no good. Rebound swooped in and grabbed by Gavin Schumann.
St. Louis doing a good job of kicking it back out, slowing things down, wanting to reset here towards the end of the quarter.
McGowan between the rings. Pull-up jumper after he puts the brakes on. That rattles out. And then fighting for the rebound is Green. Gets the floater along the lane to go. Down to 6.
Green looks like he can do a little bit of everything there. Took the outside shot, ended up finishing that possession with a shot on the inside.
Now a nice feed on the give and go. Cross couldn't finish, and so at the end of 3 quarters, St. Louis has cut it to within 6, 76-70. We're back with the 4th quarter from Lima after this.
Lima Express would like to thank our
With your attention, please. You can watch live streaming.
It's a great thing. It was fun yesterday because we're up in Nevada City, and so I was able to watch the game.
Excited to have this online, and so they can view it now and later, and people that can't be here. It's been a really cool thing.
It's a great experience. Anybody who's not had the opportunity to be here at the game, this brings the game to you.
On coachesaid.com. That's coachesaid.com.
Welcome back to Lima. We head to the 4th quarter. The Express lead 76-70. Little run by the RiverSharks at the end of the quarter by Bruce Massey and Nate Green. Got the RiverSharks to this margin.
Nate Green's done a great job coming in and being the catalyst for that last little run. Kind of surprised DeWitt hasn't really been much of a factor. He's on the bench, sat most of the bench there towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Last time St. Louis went on a little bit of a run, closed that gap, Lima was able to answer with a run of their own. Let's see if they can do the same thing here to start the 4th quarter.
Foul was on Ed Jenkins, his 2nd. Green finds his way into the lane, then kicks it out to Massey. 1 to shoot, puts up the floater and hits.
Huge bucket there, huge bucket. Didn't rush things, knew he had just enough time to get it off without having to take a bad shot. Was able to get it to fall, and now that lead's only going to be 4.
Cross leaves it out for Ballard. He's guarded by Schumann. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Ballard tries to drive. He's cut off by Leak. Now Cross with the bailout 20-footer. No good. Rebounded by Terry Leak. Now McGowan on the drive, puts up the shot. That won't go, but he draws the foul. That's going to be on Ed Jenkins, and it'll be his 3rd.
Late whistle's got some of Lima players a little upset, but he did get the push off there. Wasn't able to get the bucket to fall for the and 1, but they did a nice job of attacking on that time, going to on that offensive possession. He's going to go to the line here to try to get 2.
So now Kenny McGowan can get Lima back to within 2. I beg your pardon, the RiverSharks back to within 2 of Lima.
These are big free throws right here. They were struggling a little bit early with missed free throws. Now got the first one to fall. Second one now, and now it's only a 2-point lead. Lima's really got to tighten things up here. Helton was a spark there in the 3rd quarter. Let's see if he can do the same thing now for Lima.
Yeah, he put up 8 points in that 3rd quarter, finished the 3rd quarter with 12. He missed there, and now the RiverSharks can tie with a 2. take the lead with a 3.
Lima's getting away from what was working for them early. Before they were patient, a lot of ball movement, a lot of movement without the ball, getting some cuts, getting some slashes, getting to the rim. Now they're forcing things early in the shot clock.
Schumann throws it inside to Green. Beautiful look. Green can't finish, however. And the rebound to James Helton. McGowan just about takes it away. Now Helton has his pass poked into the stands by Terry Leak.
Lima caught a break there on the offensive side for St. Louis. They were slow on rotating over, left Green wide open underneath. Unfortunately for St. Louis, he wasn't able to finish. Coming back down here on the offensive side of the ball for Lima, they're a little jumbled. The guys aren't spreading things out like they were before to get any lanes to drive to the basket.
Now a 3 on the way is no good from Atkinson. Helton gets the rebound, saves it. Let's see who ends up with it. Atkinson ends up with it.
He's struggled so far from the three-point line today. Not afraid to take that shot, though.
Now Ballard's 3 misses, but Atkinson gets the offensive rebound. And a fresh set for Lima. 3 on the way, and that's good. Ed Jenkins.
Great job by Atkinson keeping the ball alive, keeping the possession open for his team. St. Louis, everybody was kind of collapsing towards the rim there, left Jenkins open in the perimeter, and he was able to put the 3 points in. Jenkins there did a great job of swiping the ball, trying to get a turnover without causing the foul. Fortunately, the ball was knocked out of bounds by him instead of off of the St. Louis player like he wanted, but it was a great job of hand movement without getting called for the foul.
Now Schumann goes strong to the glass and lays it in with the right hand.
Great strong move by him. He didn't have any fear of those tall men in the middle.
Now the pull-up jumper is on the way. That's no good. Tipped and controlled by Green. Here comes Schumann. Feeds Hogg. Hogg gets the defender in the air and draws the foul. And he can get the RiverSharks to within 1.
It was a nice job by Boggs there to get his defender in the air. St. Louis had numbers. It was a 3-on-2. Would have liked for Boggs to keep his head up a little bit more, maybe get the ball moving, try to get the basket instead of going for the foul. But he did get to the free throw line, and hopefully he'll be able to convert.
So let's see what Brandon Hogg can do at the free throw line. Shot 64.7% from the stripe last year. Gets both of them to go.
Yeah.
Now Elliott from the right wing, out to Ballard. Ballard around the screen, gets his defender in the air, but could not get a shot off. Shot clock now at 5. Elliott around the screen by Meyer, and an offensive foul called on Kyle Meyer. That'll be his 4th.
He's really got to watch it. I know it's getting towards the end of the game now. It's a close, tight game. Emotions are getting a little high. He's getting frustrated. This is a couple possessions now where you've seen him kind of show that emotion. That time he showed it again and got caught with the foul.
Now a 3 from the corner, no good. But a defensive 3-second violation called against Lima. So now the RiverSharks can tie it from the free throw line. And Brandon Hogg ties the game at 79.
It's taken almost 3.5 quarters, but St. Louis has clawed their way back into this game. Hogg's been huge coming up here in the fourth quarter to start this fourth quarter. He's finally started to make some of these free throws. St. Louis is really picking up their tempo. Lima's really got to answer now. They got to make sure that they maintain their composure and they're not forcing things.
Closest the game's been since Lima led 2-1. Now a nice drive at the other end by James Helton, and there's Helton again.
Seems like whenever Lima needs an answer, he's right there to pick up the ball and take the lead.
Coming up on the 8.5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. There's a drive by Bruce Massey, and he draws the foul from behind on Kyle Meyer, and Meyer did not like the call.
That's 5 on Kyle, too, with 8.5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. He's got to be very, very careful, and Coach Anderson's probably going to have to take him out at least for a couple of minutes here. But they're going to need him on this home stretch if they're going to want to pull this one out.
Back to within 1 on the free throw by Massey. Now DeWitt comes in as Nate Green sits down, the veteran, giving Ray Farrell excellent minutes and presence on the floor. Great contributions. Second free throw won't go.
Got a reach-in foul there on St. Louis. Lima was trying to run the floor. He tried to reach in there to poke it away. It was going to be on, I believe, Massey's who they're going to get on that one.
Ballard, guarded by Schumann, calls for the screen from Atkinson, kicks it out. 3 on the way from Elliott. Boy, he's got a pretty shot.
Basketball number 10, Johnny Elliott.
A lot of confidence in the shot. Doesn't really matter where he's at on the floor. He feels like he can make it from anywhere in the gym.
Now Bocott, he's got to pull it out. Now he pops for the 19-footer. He hits and he draws the foul.
Atkinson's got to be smarter than that. He knew he had going up. He was going in for that block, but he got him leaning, went right into his body. You got to make a smarter decision that when you're trying to contest those shots.
That's the 5th foul on Atkinson. So Meyer and Atkinson each have 5 for Lima, and Atkinson's contention was that Bocott kicked his foot out to try to draw the foul. And Bocott playing a lot of international basketball and have seen him play for 5 years now. I know he's got that move in his arsenal. He does kick that foot out from time to time to try to draw a foul.
You know what, though? That's what comes with having that experience, though, playing overseas and playing professional basketball. You know, when it comes down to crunch time, knowing how to get on the line and create something for your team is really important.
So they're saying no shot, a foul on the... I didn't see a foul called.
Was it might have been a lane violation maybe? I think one of the players, I think it was Hogg, trying to argue that he didn't go in until after the shot, but the ref saw it a different way.
So it's 84-82.
Nice basket there by Helton again. He's really been huge for Lima in this second half.
Now the pretty right-hand drive by Gavin Schumann.
By number 30, Gavin Schumann.
Seems like Schumann and Bocott have really been the answers that St. Louis needed in the second half to try to get this game closer, and they're going to need them to come up big here in this last 7 minutes.
Helton drives on Massey, shoots the hook. That's no good. Rebound fought for and won by Lima. Baseline jumper rattles out, and DeWitt the rebound. Here comes the RiverSharks again. Layup is up and in, and we are tied again at 86.
Schumann got behind the defense there. Nobody saw him cut into the rim, and they able to find him on the nice bounce pass.
St. Louis still has not been able to snag the lead. They are still tied. 6.5 minutes to play. Now a 3 on the way from Helton. No. Rebound by Hogg. He's going to get Bocott, and Bocott goes up with 2 hands, and he gives the RiverSharks the lead at 88-86.
That was huge. Looked like Helton was a little hesitant on his three-point shot, and when Bocott went out to challenge it, he just kept running to the other end of the floor, and his teammates were able to find him.
The St. Louis RiverSharks have taken their first lead since 1-0. Trailed by as many as 17 points, and they have come all the way back. The veteran Justin Bocott making his presence felt in this second half. He led the RiverSharks with 11 in the first half.
Kyle Myers checked back in. He's got to be real careful. He's sitting there with those 5 fouls. We'd hate to foul out of the game.
Now a turnover, and the RiverSharks running again. Bocott around the screen, and he lays it in with the right hand.
Lima's got to slow down a little bit here, see if they can't run some offensive sets. Ballard's been very, very quiet since that first quarter. It'd be nice if he can start getting some shots, run some things his way, see if he can't bring his team back now.
Now Meyer is going to work on DeWitt. 5 to shoot. Fades away with the right hand. That's short. Couldn't get a good shot over the outstretched arm of DeWitt. Now Bocott. And the outside jumper by Schumann is no good, and here comes the Express. Elliott gives it up to Meyer. Meyer goes up with 2 hands off the glass and in. And Lima back to within 2.
They were a little frustrated the last time down the floor, and it looked like some of the Express players didn't hustle back on defense. Luckily, didn't hurt them, and actually ended up helping them that time as they were able to run the floor. And then now they got the charge coming back on the offensive side of the ball for St. Louis.
And that is 5 on Brandon Hogg. Timeout on the floor. We've got a dandy here in Lima. The RiverSharks lead 90-88 with 5:06 to play. We are back on the MPBA Broadcasting Network.
American Pub for our post-game activities.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Got a feeling this one's going to come down to the wire as the St. Louis RiverSharks have a 2-point lead after trailing by as many as 17. It's 90-88 with 5:06 to play.
Let's make some noise for your Lima Express.
Craig Feda and Nate Garlock on the call. Hope you've been enjoying this one. It's been fun to watch. The ladies running our cameras to my right seem to be enjoying the music played by the public address here in Lima, dancing during the commercials. Now Meyer inside the left elbow, working on DeWitt. They're going to get Massey on the foul. He did not like the call. He jetted down the other way, so he didn't say anything to one of the officials. That's 3 on Massey. Now Ballard on the drive, up over Massey, and that's good, and we're tied up at 90.
That was huge for Ballard. He's been pretty quiet so far in this entire second half, really since the first quarter, and they really needed to get him going and get him to the rim.
DeWitt And he did it again. He hooked with that right arm, went around Meyer, and an offensive foul on Keith DeWitt. I believe that's his second.
Second time this game he's been called for that move. Like we said, he's long, he's a lengthy player, he's big and he's strong, and sometimes he can't quite help it, but he's got to watch that or they're going to get him for it every single time, especially when the floor clears out like they do for him.
Beg your pardon, DeWitt has 4 fouls, 2 of the offensive variety, hooking with that offensive off arm. Bocott with an ear steal, now a 3 from the corner. That comes up short. DeWitt the rebound. Bocott 1-on-3, so he will presumably slow it down. He does not. He attacks with the left hand and lays it in.
Such a strong move to the basket there. Even though the numbers weren't quite in his favor, he's got a lot of confidence in that shot, and he was able to get to the rim and finish.
Now Ballard at the other end. The shot is blocked by DeWitt, but they are going to get Gavin Schumann with the foul. That's his third. Beg your pardon, his fourth. So now Ballard will go to the free throw line.
Lima struggled so far from the free throw line, not shooting the greatest percentage, but this is going to be really big down here in the stretch. They've got to make sure they convert.
Well, you called it there, partner. Ballard misses the free throw, and we saw how many both teams missed in the first half. Neither team shot particularly well from the free throw line in the first half. Ballard hits that one.
St. Louis at least seemed to kind of correct that side of it. Unfortunately for Lima, they seem to be having the same struggle they were in the first half.
McGowan over to Bocott. Here comes DeWitt on the screen. Bocott will shoot it from there.
Good defense by Ballard.
Yeah, Ballard with great defense. Bocott finally gets around him and goes strong with the left hand and lays it in. Great patience by Bocott.
There's not much more Ballard could do on that possession. He stayed with him, stayed right in front of him, and right coming around that baseline, he was just a little bit too quick, couldn't stay with him.
Oh, and a gorgeous move by James Elton.
He used St. Louis's own player against him to set a screen and was able to go open to the basket.
He left the defender absolutely standing there in the dust. He just kind of stood there and shook his head. He got beat so bad. Now Bocott's jumper misses badly, and it goes out of bounds, tipped off of Lima. So a good break there for the RiverSharks. They will retain possession with 10 seconds left to shoot. 2:47 to play in the game.
That was a bad mistake by Elliott on that side. That ball wasn't going to hit rim or backboard, and he got his finger in there and called him out, and now it got timeout by St. Louis.
Timeout on the floor, 2:47 to play. It's a 1-point game in Lima. We're back on MPBA.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at that hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some, because this dude is making me sick.
True that. All right. Okay. Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, because I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Because I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
A 1-point game in Lima. 2:47 to play. The RiverSharks lead 94-93 after trailing by as many as 17 in the first half. It's 116-102 in Pontiac. The 66ers pulling away from the steam.
Looks like they had a huge third quarter for both teams out there in Pontiac. This is going to be a good test for Lima right now. They've been leading most of the game. Now they find themselves down. The clock's working against them. They got to make sure they play good, solid defense.
Bocott into the lane, gives it up to Schumann. Schumann drives, right hand high off the glass, no. DeWitt can't get the rebound, and DeWitt and Meyer, I think DeWitt popped Meyer in the face inadvertently. No foul was called, but then DeWitt was kind of checking with Meyer to make sure he was okay and apologizing for it.
It goes to show you just how tough of a kid Meyer is. With the size of DeWitt, most people who get hit that hard with him would probably be down on the floor. Meyer was stunned there for a minute, but looks like he's going to be okay.
And then Meyer was talking to Jerry Middleton saying, hey, where's the call on that? I think Jerry said, no, I just didn't see it. Can't call it if I don't see it. Now Helton rattles the free throw in, and we're tied at 94. And we're tied up.
Big free throws by Helton there. So far, he's been the story of the second half for Lima. He came in as a substitution for Atkinson, came in and led them back to open that lead back up that they had starting the second half. And then once they gave it up, he's been the answer every time they needed some points. DeWitt is still struggling to find the basket.
Now DeWitt goes up over a player on the floor, goes strong with the right hand, lays it in, and he gives the RiverSharks the lead back at 96-95. He's going to go to the line for the three-point play, and Keith DeWitt, a 72.6% free throw shooter, excellent for a big man.
And as we were talking about earlier in the game, he was struggling, wasn't finding a lot of success on the offensive side as far as putting the points in. He's been really big as far as rebounding goes. That time, he stayed with his shot, didn't get the first one to fall, stayed with it. Lima jumped on him. He was still able to be strong enough to get up and finish.
DeWitt cannot complete the three-point play, but Hogg's there for the rebound.
Huge rebound for Hogg there.
Now Bocott on the drive, puts on the brakes, can't get the shot to go, but he follows his own shot and puts it up, and it's 98-95.
He froze his defender there, left the defender standing there wondering which way he was going to go. Wasn't able to finish on that first attempt, but stayed with his shot and was able to get the second one to go.
Three-point lead for the RiverSharks. Justin Bocott having a huge second half. Now Meyer on the drive. And that's a good call. Keith DeWitt was moving. He did not like it. The RiverSharks bench did not like it, but he was moving and kind of flopped a little bit. That's the fifth on DeWitt. And I think DeWitt popped up and kind of clapped his hands and was smiling because he knew he knew he was guilty. He's trying to sell it, though. Nothing wrong with that. Now Meyer to the free throw line. Meyer, a 79% free throw shooter with the Express last year.
Maybe not the prettiest form you're ever going to see from a free throw, but it went in, it's effective, and hopefully he's able to convert this second one.
Second one doesn't go. DeWitt the rebound.
Nice job by Schumann there. He didn't quite have the numbers, didn't see what he wanted to, so he pulled it out and let the rest of his teammates catch up with him.
Now Bocott working a little clock here. Throws it inside to DeWitt, loses the defender, hooks off the glass and in.
Great pass there by Bocott. Had DeWitt in the middle. Was able to take it in strong. Express player fell, trying to see if he couldn't get the foul call and wasn't able to get it.
Now Meyer spins it on DeWitt, gets him in the air, goes with the right hand, and good.
He's got great footwork. We've seen that a couple of times tonight from him where he's changed directions 2 or 3 times before he's gone towards the basket.
McGowan with a 2-point lead between the rings. Drives, gives it up to DeWitt. He didn't handle it cleanly, otherwise he would have had a dunk. Now gets back in, shoots from in close, off the glass and in. Tough shot by Keith DeWitt.
That was clutch. He's really starting to come alive now here in the last couple of minutes. We're under a minute now. Lima's got to answer.
Now Ballard fakes the three, tries to get around McGowan. Now around the screen by Meyer. 10 to shoot. Devon Taylor Bunton faked the three. Shot clock down to 5. Gets it to Meyer. Feeds it inside. Pass stolen away by Hogg. He finds Bocott all by himself. Here goes Bocott. Up with the right hand and in with 29.5 seconds left. And Mark Anderson wants timeout.
Lima's losing a little bit of their composure here, unfortunately. St. Louis has been able to open up a nice lead with some easy baskets.
Justin Bocott has been absolutely a ton here in the fourth quarter.
And we're looking at a 2-possession game now for Lima. Only just under 30 seconds left to play, so they're going to have to come down and try to convert. They don't necessarily have to go for a three-pointer. They can try to drive, see if maybe they can't get an and-one situation. But for St. Louis, obviously for the last part of this quarter, it's going to come down to the free throw line. Lima's going to have to foul them, so they're going to have to make sure they convert on those free throws if they're going to hold on for the victory.
I've got Bocott for at least 12 points in this fourth quarter.
I know he's had a couple of nice passes too, and it's just on some of those other ones, and he's just been doing just about everything they needed him to do in this fourth quarter to make sure that they erased that initial lead that Lima had and then to hold on.
104-98, 29 and a half seconds to play. Both teams in the bonus. Let's see if the RiverSharks can hold on after coming all the way back from down by 17 points in the first quarter. They trailed by 16 in the third. They made a run, got to within 4 early in the fourth, and they finally were able to reel in the Express on a Brandon Hogg free throw.
Ballard tried to go for the three there, wasn't able to get it. And now they're gonna be playing catch up the rest of the game now, trying to see if they can't get St. Louis to the free throw line and miss a couple of these.
Johnny Elliott commits the foul, and so Justin Bocott will go to the line. Let's take a peek in Pontiac. Wow, the Steam have come back. They're down to within 4, 126-122. So they've got a tremendous game going on over in Pontiac, Illinois, as the Steam trailed by as many as 14 in the second half. Bocott's free throw, nothing but net. The lead is up to 7 with 18.2 left. DeWitt sits down, and Massey comes back on.
It's only fitting that Bocott's at the line now, putting some free throws in. That's going to maybe extend this lead and allow his team to hold on for this victory. He's been the whole reason they were able to erase that initial deficit and come all the way back to regain control of the game. Lima's got to do something quick here. The clock's not on their side.
3 missed badly by Atkinson, and then the grab foul to stop the clock by Elliott, but it's not going to matter.
At this point, it looks like they may just be prolonging the inevitable. Down by 8 points, only 6 seconds left to go. Got to give it to St. Louis. You know, they were down by a lot. They could have folded it in. You know, they had some excuses they could have used. They didn't allow those things to affect them. They fought hard, came all the way back, and now they're sitting in great position to finish off with the win. Final couple of seconds are ticking off, and unfortunately Lima's going to end up with their first loss. They allowed that huge lead to go away. St. Louis did a great job of fighting back, and they earned a very tough victory today.
Impressive performance by the St. Louis RiverSharks, coming back from a huge deficit. Trailed by as many as 17 in that first quarter. And they come away with the 8-point win, 106-98. Coming up at the post-game show, we will have a talk with Ray Farrell. And we will have a look at all the statistics from this game. That's a 3-point deficit now for the Steam in Pontiac as the 66ers lead 126-123. And we will keep you updated on that one. We're back in 2 minutes on MPBA.TV.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks. Oh, look at the hairline, man. It's way pushed back. And that tie's mad ugly. It's a horrible pick. Somebody get me some pills. This dude is making me sick.
True that. All right. Okay. Hold on to my clean shirts and please don't get them dirty, cause I know you're gonna drool when you hear me getting wordy. Cause I'm a walking, talking, smacking human encyclopedia. You thought I'd stop there, but now I'm getting greedier. I'm a promotion in motion, and by now you got the notion that I got strategic plans coming out my ears. My key points and decks will bring y'all to tears. Turning pennies into dimes, I shift paradigms. But how you gonna let a marketing rep rip your rep and slip adept rhyme schemes in that your mind only dreams in? I bet you all wonder why my rhyme is so tight. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Thanks.
Stay smart. Stay at a Holiday Inn Express.
Look at dude right here in them tight old slacks.
Welcome back to Lima, where the St. Louis RiverSharks came all the way back from a 17-point first-half deficit to come away with an 8-point win against the host Lima Express, 106-98. I'm joined now by the victorious head coach of the St. Louis RiverSharks, Ray Farrell. And Ray, what was the difference in the second half? Aside from Justin Bocott, obviously, who finished with 32 points, it seemed like for whatever reason, your veterans, DeWitt and Bocott, it took a while to get them going. What did you do in the second half to try to get them going?
You know, we just communicated to the players we have to go hard. We have to get it done together. And I don't think we had a lot of energy in the first half. Maybe the bus ride out here, you know, the weather. We just weren't coming out with energy for the entire first half. In the second half, we just said, let's get it to within 10 in the third quarter, but let's put the energy on, and that's what I think happened.
Gavin Schumann gave you a nice spark as well. He finished with 11 points, and every time you looked, it seemed like he was getting a key tip or rebound, or when you needed a bucket, he got you a bucket, and he played some good defense in there as well.
Yeah, you know, the number 22 on the home team, he was hurting us. So that's all I could see is 22, and Gavin got in there, and I think he gave him a hard time.
Yeah, after Cody Ballard scored 15 points in that first quarter, I believe you made that switch, and he only scored 8 points the rest of the game, so that was a good defensive switch there. And talk about the emotions in this game. I mean, it seemed like for whatever reason, you guys just had to keep grinding. Was there a turning point, do you think, in that fourth quarter when you guys finally tied it up on the technical foul free throw by Brandon Hogg on the defensive 3-second call? It seemed like after that almost kind of took the wind out of Lima's sails.
Yeah, I think it did, and it just gave us the little boost we needed to, you know, seal the deal. But Brandon Hogg is a tremendous player, and he kept repeating to the players in the huddles that it's a long game. There's no lead is good enough. So it's a long game. You got to keep playing through and just whittle it down a little bit at a time. And I think the guys paid attention to them, and you got to give them a lot for their effort in the second half, the energy, pushing the ball up the court, defending. They just got it done, and they got it done together.
All right, Ray Farrell, congratulations on your first win with the St. Louis RiverSharks, first win in the MPBA. Hard-fought win, but it's going to be a nice bus ride home.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
This is the MPBA on MPBA.tv. We'll have a full look at the statistics when we come back in 1 minute.
There he goes again, mixing sauces. Hot barbecue to Parmesan garlic and back again. You're not on the same page of the playbook, are you? It's time to speak up. Next time Loverboy goes to mix, set him straight.
We're gonna stop mixing sauces now, okay? Thank you.
Grab a seat. The game is on.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Welcome back to Lima. Again, the final score 106-98 in favor of the RiverSharks. They trailed by as many as 17 in that first half. The RiverSharks had not gotten any closer than 2-1 since very early on in the game when they tied it at 79 on a technical foul free throw by Brandon Hogg, a defensive 3-second call against Lima with 8:57 to play in the game, tied it up at 79. James Helton answered a moment later to give Lima the lead back. And it was a tight battle from then on, but then the RiverSharks were able to pull away just a little bit. Let's take a look at the final scoring on this game. Justin Bocott finished with 32 points for the St. Louis RiverSharks. Bruce Massey had 19 on 8 of 8 shooting and 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Brandon Hogg had 12, Gavin Schumann with 11, Nate Green had 8, Kenny McGowan 8, Keith DeWitt 8, JT Sutton 5, and Terry Leak had 3. For the Lima Express, 2 players over 20 points. Kyle Meyer had 25, Cody Ballard 23, James Helton 20. Actually, they had 3 players over 20 points. Johnny Elliott with 15, David Atkinson 8, Ed Jenkins with 6, and Devon Taylor Bunton with 1. Luke Coles, Aaron Cross, and Marcus Montague all played but did not score. Leading rebounder for St. Louis, Keith DeWitt had 9, and James Helton had 9 for Lima. Brandon Hogg 5 assists for St. Louis, but he also had 5 turnovers, as did Bruce Massey. Massey, though, had 4 steals to go along with those 5 turnovers and 3 assists. Cody Ballard had 7 assists for Lima, 8 turnovers, however. Kyle Meyer 3 steals. As we look at some of the team numbers on this one, RiverSharks just 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. The Express 9 of 26. 37 of 64 from the floor for St. Louis, 30 of 59 for Lima. St. Louis 26 of 40 from the free throw line. Lima 11 of 19. Rebounding edge in favor of St. Louis, 51-43, including an 18-14 rebounding advantage on the offensive glass. Fouls just about even, 28 against Lima, 26 against St. Louis. So once again, the final score from Lima, 106-98. The RiverSharks beat the Express in their MPBA debut, and Nate Garlock, this was a great game, and unfortunately for the home team in their debut in the new league, they couldn't quite close out the league defending runners-up.
Yeah, it was. It was an excellent game on by both. It was a story of 2 halves, really. In the first half, like you heard Coach talking about, it seemed like St. Louis didn't really come out with a lot of energy. They fell behind. Lima was playing really good offense, playing great defense. They seemed to be clicking, and St. Louis just wasn't. A lot of things were misfiring for them. They went in, and St. Louis did a better job of making the adjustments in the second half. They came out with a lot more energy. They clawed their way all the way back, and unfortunately for Lima, they didn't really have much of an answer. The biggest difference that I could see for St. Louis was they really shut Ballard down. He had 15 points in that first quarter. The rest of the way, I think he only ended up scoring 7 or 8 points. He really couldn't get going after that. And even though Meyer and Helton were doing their best to try to be that offensive answer for them, it just wasn't quite enough for Lima today.
They ended up going to overtime in Pontiac, and the host 66ers pulled away from the Gateway Steam 138-128. Jake Anderson had 34 for the 66ers in that game. Lionel Johnson for Gateway had 27. Here again, the final score was 106-98. The RiverSharks take down the Lima Express. For my partner Nate Garlock, I'm Craig Fada saying so long from Lima. This is the MPBA Broadcasting Network.